The most challenging part about making a change in your life is taking that first step, is dedicating yourself to the idea of what you truly want, the dream of what you truly desire, what your heart is telling you to move for, and taking that first step toward that goal. But I know that you can do it. You know how I know that you can do it? Because I did it. I've spent my life betting on myself, banking on my know-how, my resourcefulness, my skills, and the wisdom and knowledge that I've gained through many attempts at changing myself in all sorts of ways. And I haven't ever failed. Because even if something didn't work out, it redirected me to what was better for me. It answered questions that I had, and it filled in blanks of what I was missing when I didn't attain that thing. And I learned an awful lot about what it takes to get there, the steps it takes to remain consistent and move along a path to my dreams. And it never ends, to be honest with you, right? It just keeps going and going and going. We hit a goal, and we can enjoy it, and then it's time to move on. And there's always going to be something else to level up with. And as a coach, as a holistic living coach, and an intuitive coach, and a spiritual guide, I help people attain those goals and help them with the disciplines and what it takes to set the standards in their life to move on and on over and over, so that they can continue to do it in their lives even after we have stopped working together. Because as much as I'd love to work with everyone for the rest of our lives, like, you gotta send them out the door. Once they've gotten to a certain level, it's time to let go and be moving on your own after you have gotten the education, right? You do it in school, you do it with you've done it with your parents, right? And if you have kids, you may have done it with your own kids, where you give them as much of as the tools and the foundations that you can, and then kind of let them go to see what happens. And you can always come back and check in. So if you don't know, my name is Mike, and I am a holistic living coach, an intuitive coach, and I help people with all of these types of things. I help people with their disciplines and their routines, and setting standards in their lives to achieve their goals, and remain constant in those practices as they continue moving and upping their goals and getting themselves to the next level and the next level. I find it so rewarding to work with other people and help them along their path. I have spent my life betting on myself. I've been of an entrepreneurial state of being my whole life, and I've done all sorts of gnarly stuff and gnarly living, which has given me a wealth of life experience and know-how and wisdom to put into practice and to keep building on, and to help others now. I have felt this calling I have felt it for years before I ever knew even what to do in this realm and how to get started on it. And then I got certifications, and I've built a business, a very enriching and fulfilling business, helping other people do this, and it's wonderful. And I was like, well, take it to this medium, and try and reach more people. So I have inspirational videos here on my channel, Renegade Vibration. There's all sorts of them if you want to check them out. And I just want to share. There's all kinds of things on there, along these lines of starting a meditation practice, and getting our health in order, and our routines going in positive ways, and leveling up. So check out the channel if you want. There's plenty of content and resources there as well, you know. And this video is just a little bit of a share to let you know that who I am, you know, and to say that I believe in you and I know that you can do it, you know. I've had humble origins, you know. I come from a city, you know. I grew up in the city, and obviously if you watch any of my videos, you know that I don't live in a city anymore. And it took quite a bit to get out here, you know, to what I consider paradise. And you know, it's been fun living the whole way. You know, I am a musician. You know, I'm an old punk rocker, and you know, I focused on that for a long time in my life, and I still play. I'm still in a band that I've been in forever, along with so many other projects. You know, like I'm in a hardcore punk band. You know, like, don't think that this love and light stuff doesn't exist there, because it absolutely does. You know, it's not like that scene is a lot about love and caring for each other, as most you know scenes like that tend to be. But it might not look that way from the outside, but it is to those who don't know. And but you know, I've had the luxury, you know, not luxury, I guess, is that the right word? I don't know. You know, I've been able to tour all over, you know, all over, and experience so much of the world, and it opened my eyes so much at a young age, and on through to, you know, different the way different people live, and how they you know what forms, you know, people's you know, lives, and their actions and reactions to things, and you know, their environment and how it affects them, and on and on and on. And I've met like some of the most wonderful people I could have ever hoped to meet in my life, playing music and traveling around, and I did that for years. And then although I still do it, I you know, I did it like full time. And then, you know, one day I just opened up a restaurant, and I did that as well. Like, you know, and I was successful. I was successful at the restaurant. I owned it for many years, and it was great. And I was able to put a lot of the anarcho ideals that I had, you know, kind of grown within myself and learned about over the years into the running of an actual business. And I was successful at doing that, and it gave me, you know, a great understanding of how that can actually function in regular society. It functions just fine in the squats, but in real life, I don't know if you can call it that, but like in the mass population, it can work too. And as a matter of fact, people really gravitate toward those ideas when they don't necessarily don't have their blocks up about what they think it is. And you know, and then I you know, did that for many years. And then I opened up a screen printing business, because you know, I'm an artist as well. You know, I got into making collage art and flyer art for my band over the years, and making all sorts of merchandise. So I decided that I wanted to do that as well. So I did, and I actually still have that business, because I enjoy it, and I enjoy making art in that way, as well as, you know, different things that I do for customers. But, you know, I focus a lot on my art, designing and printing things, and you know, maybe more about that some other time. And you know, but I've done that for years, and then I got into the, you know, I wanted to be a coach even before I opened that up. And you know, I have a lot of people skills with working in the restaurant business, and you know, I saw where I could be helpful to people, and you know, with the skill set that I had. So you know, I went all in. And even with all the certifications I have, I'm going to tell you, like, they didn't teach me anything that I didn't already know, or that I hadn't outlined myself before I even got my business started. It was more about, you know, I'm like I already knew, you know, I knew what to do, because I had been working with people all of my life, and building relationships with people, and working on myself to come into my own, into a balanced point. I'm a meditation practitioner. I run right now I just run a local group. I don't really do things online at the moment as of, fall or late summer 2025, but we'll see how that goes. And, maybe if people want, live stream meditations, I'll do that. If that's something that, you might be interested in, send me a message and let me know. Maybe I'll do something like that. But I've done that for years as well, many, many years running meditation groups, and, working on my spiritual practice, because it's all very important. So all that being said, if you're still watching this at 10 minutes, you're my kind of people. You're the people I'm looking for, that I want to connect with, and I want to help be a part of your life and help you with your dreams. So if that's something that you are interested in, I would love to get to know you. I would love to know what your story is. Tell me about you, down in the comments. Let's hear what's going on with you. Or, send me a message, the Renegade Vibration. I'll put my email below the video as well, and, you can hit me up, and, we'll kibitz, but, if you are looking to up your game in any number of ways, professionally, with your relationships, with your relationship to yourself and your higher self, through meditation, or getting yourself together with your, your daily routines. Your health is very important, and how to start shedding not just layers physically, but also the energetic layers as we're ratcheting up in energy here. It's time to start letting those things go, and allowing ourselves to be more free and to step into who we really are. Who are you really? What is your true renegade vibration? That's where that name comes from. We each have one. It's only yours. I have mine and you have yours. What is your true renegade vibration? Come into your heart. That's my advice. Listen to your heart. Quiet the mind, or at least stop paying attention to the mind, I should say, and come into your heart space. What does it really tell you? What is your, what are your true dreams? What is it you're really trying to attain? And what, if there were no barriers like the physical ones, where would you be? What would you be doing? Come at me. Let me know what's up. I'd love to be of service to you and get to know you. Thanks very much. Cheers. Peace. Shred.